Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Jordan. We are back with another educational recap. In this video, I'm going to be going over some of the top plays from this week. Now, there were so many unbelievable plays. It was such a great week, but I do think it is critically important that I kind of narrow it down to about 5 or 6 so you guys can really understand how to identify these patterns. I want you guys to focus and understand how I got these levels and these targets. And with that being said, guys, let's just jump straight into the video. So first, our top play of the week was MGM. I was seeing a lot of strength in this sector, and I saw a very low risk pattern. So I tell you guys, you want to be focusing on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily before you narrow it down to a shorter term time frame. Once you identify the pattern, you then want to take it down to a 65-minute and a 30-minute so you could really pinpoint your entries. So first, I have a 3-month 1-day on MGM. Like I said, I was seeing a lot of strength in this sector, and this was a name that I knew could break out if we could have cleared this flag. So first, there are 3 components, like I've said in previous videos. We have our range break, we have our pivot, and then the point of the breakout. So this was a very easy to identify pattern. I was telling our chat that I was looking for a break above this DTL on the 65-minute chart and out of our pivot point and our range break for this really to continue to move higher. So we had the RSI strength, we had the huge increase in volume, and then we had our previous high break, and that was our trigger to enter calls. So in a tight area of consolidation like this, you guys want to be using the previous ranges as your support and your resistance. As you guys can see here, 44.25 was support, and 45.6 was the area of resistance that we needed to clear to get out of this DTL. So this move was supported by strong volume, RSI strength, and this was over 450% if you were playing contracts near the money. This was a very low risk pattern, low risk setup, and I really liked it because everyone could have played this. The contracts were about 40 or 50 cents and they moved to about $2 or $3. And something else I wanted to go over about this play is how you can stay in for so long. So once you are in, guys, you really want to be focusing on the 65-minute closes. As you can see here, once we got those closes, we then used it as support on the following candles. This is something that could keep you in a winning trade longer, and this is something you really want to look for once you are in the trade. This was an unbelievable play on MGM. We had our flag break to the upside. We had huge volume to support the move. The RSI strength is there, and this was just a great play. Now, I tell you guys also, in areas of consolidation like this is where you want to be looking for these patterns to form. A lot of people try to front run these and get in early and end up getting killed on these pullbacks or this chop. In areas like this, we love it because we know a pattern like this is forming. So this is something that we took. Members banked on this play, and that was our top play of the week. Now going into the next one, I'm going to be covering SE. This was another unbelievable play, and this is something that we also took last week. I've been looking at this pattern for a while now, and I've been seeing this flag forming. We did play this break over 324.90 for a scalp, which turned out to be an unbelievable play as well. But I was looking at this longer term DTL to really clear for a breakout. So you guys can see here, we have our 332.56, which was this bottom point of the flag here. So again, our range break, our pivot, and then the point of the breakout. Now there could have been 2 entries on this play. It could have been either the previous high of day at this 330.02, but the safest entry and the one that I had on the watch list was 332.56. You guys can see this area rejected last time, and this needed to clear to confirm the strong breakout going to the upside. So if I really zoom in here, you guys can see our pivot point of the flag was our first target. So once we got that strong break above, we then used it as support and made the stronger move higher off that support. So if I narrow it down to a 65-minute time frame here on the left, you guys can see how this worked. 332.56 was used as resistance. For the stronger move higher, we need that 332.56 to clear with volume to confirm the breakout. You guys can see the volume was strong. We had the RSI strength. We've been over 50. Stock has been in strong positive momentum. We got that break above 332.56. And again, we are using those 65-minute candle closes as support to stay in these winning trades for so long. So you guys can see that first 65-minute closed at 334.51, and then the following one at 344.14. From those closes, you guys can see we used them as support, and if you would have stayed in this trade, the max gain was about 350%. So this was another unbelievable play, a very easy pattern to identify, and a very low risk setup. We tell you guys trading is all about risk management. It's about risk reward. It's about finding the lowest risk setups and then executing once you find your edge. So this was something that turned out to be great. And then another one was crowd, which was on the same day. And this is something that I've also been watching for some time. You guys can see this 227.25 area was used as support. We had the RSI support right on that 50 line. We came back down and really established this uptrend, or this UTL here. So once we use this area of support again on this trend, you guys can see another area of consolidation. In these areas of consolidation, you guys really want to be focusing on a pattern. So again, we have our range break here, our pivot point, and then the point of the breakout. So the level of entry was 254.30. That was this high right here. I wanted to see that level clear with volume. We had increased volume here. We had the RSI kind of skating on that 50. We are still using it as support. So then this is a valid setup going to the upside, right? We are seeing consolidation. We have our pattern forming here, and we are looking for volume to come in and for buyers to really advance price higher. So we had a really strong daily breakout here, and I want to narrow it down now to a 65-minute so you guys could kind of see how this looks on a narrower time frame. So here we have the 65-minute candle closes again used as support, and this max gain was about 350%. So you guys really want to be focusing on these closes to help keep you in these winning trades. A lot of times, I know you guys are selling within the first couple minutes of open, and you're not having these huge gains because you're selling so quick. If you want to hold longer, you need to be focusing on longer term time frames. So a lot of times I will take off most of my size into these initial rips, because this is when you want to be collecting the most premium. On these huge rips in the morning, the premiums are moving the highest. So I'm taking off majority size into these rips, and then I'm leaving runners for a chance for price to continue to move higher. So this was another unbelievable play, over 350% on this move. And then I want to show you guys how the pivot points and the range breaks were used as support. So you guys can see our range break, which was our second target, was 269.70. Once we got those closes above, we then used that same area as support. So once we get to that pivot point, once we get to that range break, you guys really want to see it being used as support. And this is just another unbelievable play where you could have gotten some really nice premium if you played the retest of that 269.70. So a lot of the times I tell you on these big breakouts, especially in the morning, you guys want to be waiting for pullbacks. You want to wait for areas of consolidation where a pattern is forming. So even if you missed this huge move here, you still could have played on the following session the retest of that range break. So it's really important that you guys understand this and you guys really see how I got this pattern, or how I found this pattern rather, and then why this was such a great play going to the upside. After crowd, I have upstart. So you guys can see here, this is a 15-day, 65-minute flag. And then here again, I have the daily where we have our DTL. This stock has been performing unbelievably. The RSI strength has been there. The strong volume has been there as well, right? So this is something that I've been looking at for months now, and it's just been an unbelievable name to trade. So you guys can see, again, we have a very defined flag. We have our range break, we have our pivot point, and then we have our point of entry here. Now you guys can see we rejected at these 2 points here. So the trigger and the level of entry in the watch list was 319. I wanted to see this 319 area clear with volume, and I knew that we would get a strong break out of this flag. So you guys can see 319 cleared with volume, supported here, the RSI strength, and we made those moves higher. We used the 65-minute candle closes as support, and we just continued to climb higher. Now, the 337.52 was this high right here from the daily breakout of the DTL. So on the following session, we want to see that area used as support. So once we got that 65-minute close above, as you can see here, we then use that area as support. So again, even if you miss that strong first 65-minute candle out of the open, you guys can wait for these pivot points and range breaks to be used as support. You guys can see this stock continued to climb higher into 400. Even if you just played this retest here, you could have made a couple 100% on the contracts on this move alone. So this was an unbelievable play. We had the RSI strength, we had the increase in volume, and we had everything we were looking for on this play. This is a very low risk setup. I've done multiple videos on these kind of setups now, and this is something that you guys really want to be looking for. So the next one we have is Etsy. This was a very similar pattern, guys. We have a 65-minute flag. This is something that I was looking at. And then again, we have the daily pattern as well. So we had the strong volume. We had the RSI support bounces off that 50. And this was a stock that I was looking for a breakout. So again, we have our range break, we have our pivot point, and then we have our breakout. So I was telling the team I wanted to see that 216.75 area clear with volume, and this was a great play right out of the open. This was a couple 100% just on this first 65-minute candle here. Now, this stock did not have a lot of momentum on this day. It did have that strong move in the morning, but we did come back to test that DTL. So on these breakouts, especially with the way the market's been, sometimes you won't get that retest, but in this case you did. And you guys can see that same 216.75 was used as support the following session. So this was another great move on Friday, going to the upside, and we used that pivot point, as you guys can see here on the daily, as support. So this was a couple 100% on the contracts. We checked off everything. We had our strong setup on the daily. We then narrowed it down to a 15-day, 65-minute, and we found the setup. The last one I'm going to go over is TTD. This was another unbelievable play. This is something that I posted in our chat as well. So again, guys, we have a strong setup here. The RSI strength was below 50. We were kind of consolidating in this range here. So this is the point in time that you guys want to be looking for a pattern, like I've been saying. And the 72.20 area was a level of interest that I wanted to see clear. You guys can see the RSI strength started to come back over that 50. The volume was increasing here. And once we got that break above 72.20, buyers really stepped in and advanced price higher the following couple sessions. This was a great swing, or even on the intraday. You can see here there were multiple points. So once we got that break above the 72.20, we were kind of consolidating a bit. In the following session, we really broke out and we used this high right here as our first target. So right here from the 74.25, you can see we used it as support, right? You really want to be focusing on these 65-minute candles to help keep you in these winning trades for so long. So we have that 65-minute close. We use it as support, as you guys can see here. And once we use it as support, we continue to climb higher. So again, if you are missing this initial breakout, you guys want to be seeing the range breaks and the pivot points being targeted, and you want to see them being used as support. So this was another unbelievable play on TTD. And with that being said, guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you guys liked the content, I would appreciate it if you guys left a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. I'm going to keep posting more videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.